We plant seeds every single day in the world and in others, with every thought we think and word we speak and action we take. We have influence. We're making a dent in the universe, and we matter in a very real way. And now Marge is going to read a reflection on planting seeds of justice, which is our theme.
I am Marge. I'm reading an article by Reverend Sarah Lawal called Planting Seeds of Justice Reflection. I've never had a green thumb. I am embarrassed to admit that many a plant and garden have not thrived under my care. I deeply envy friends who have lush green plants everywhere and thriving backyard gardens. I marvel at how they find the time and energy, let alone the skill, to tend to everything. I always feel like I am barely keeping my head above water, tending to the most critical calls in my life and ministry. One spring, a friend and I went to a flowering plant sale at a local high school. She buys the same flowering petunia baskets to hang in her backyard every year. So this year, I was resolved to try plant care again and do better, and bought one too. I watered it daily, and for some weeks it looked amazing. Then slowly it began to fade and wilt. The flowers were droopy and dying. I called my friend with my plant emergency, begging her to come over and diagnose my problem, to help me revive the one plant I desperately wanted to keep alive. When she arrived, she looked at it and said, "Are you deadheading your flowers?" Deadheading? What even is that? You know, you pinch off the dead flowers from their stem. It helps make room for new flowers to grow. I was dumbfounded and amazed. I followed her instructions and managed to bring the flowers back to life. They weren't as lush and vibrant as hers, but they made it through the season. Today I have a flowering basket, some herbs, and even a few houseplants. I am still nervous that I will inevitably screw it up, but I have the confidence to try. What does it take to have the confidence to try? Sometimes all it takes is a little spark, a nudge in the right direction, like help figuring out you need to deadhead dried blossoms to make room for new growth. There is some serious life and movement building advice in that statement alone. Sometimes it takes an infusion of love and support. People who believe in your mission and give you the space to innovate, to plant seeds and tend to the work and care of the community you serve. UUSC's Guest at Your Table program does just that. They infuse activists, movement builders, and community organizations with love and organizational support to boost their confidence, helping them grow and thrive. Often, UUSC is the first funder of their partners. As an international funder, this helps fledgling organizations find their footing, gain some notoriety in the world of NGOs, and open up pathways to more funding. UUSC offers networking opportunities to global convenings and bring partners to the United Nations, covering the often insurmountable costs of travel and accommodations. And UUSC upholds its commitment to decolonization, regularly assessing its own systems and processes. They've committed to a participatory action research, which centers from leaders from where the most impacted communities uphold the adage, "Nothing about us without us." In this current climate, when wave upon wave of attacks on freedom, bodily autonomy, marginalized identity, and our dying planet and the very foundations of democracy overwhelm us daily, it is hard to hold on to hope and know how to respond. I know sometimes just getting stuck, I'm thinking I'm not doing enough, and little I am doing is just a drop in the bucket compared to the level of threat. The impatient gardener in me wants to see immediate results. But as I have learned through the slow and steady tending of my little community of plants, if I don't do the small things, the daily tending, the watering, the feeding, and pruning, my plants will never grow or thrive. Every small thing matters. With guests at your table, I can practice slow and steady, patient gardening. Placing that little box in the center of my kitchen counter to receive a few coins or sometimes dollars every day reminds me to keep doing the small things. And it becomes a powerful physical reminder to my family and my kids that the small things matter. My plants have also taught me the value inherent in the act of tending. I am not just doing the tasks in planting require. I am doing them with care and heart because I want my beautiful plants to thrive and flourish. Because they bring me a small bit of delight and beauty, and that fuels my care. And don't we all need that kind of care? In the midst of pain and injustice, we are still tending. UUSC seeks out global change makers doing some of the most innovative and impactful grassroots justice work in the heart of their communities. From housing and supporting LGBTQ+ asylum seekers in Philadelphia to Honduran water defenders actively protecting their water resources from threats like mining and pollution. Their partners are also experts at tending. Rooted in the ethic of community care, these partners are tending to the small corners of their communities, planting seeds of justice they know may take a while to grow into their fullness. They are the gardeners of our world, nurturing justice and compassion for our collective flourishing.
Thank you. So, does anybody have any comments on little seed plants story? Well, I'm going to share a little story. 5 years ago, somebody in the summer asked Roseanne and I to play drums at a little family picnic. So I said, okay, let's go. So we go there, Roseanne and I, with our drums. And all of a sudden, we see the house that we thought we were going to. There was rock music, trucks, beer, everything. And I go, is this the house? Are you sure this is the house? She says, I think so. And I said, I can't believe it. How are we two mature women? There's two drums. Interrupt. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. I expected them to go, what? What the? So I said to Roseanne, I think we should go home. She says, no, we can't do this. So we finally went, and we're walking up. I really, it was difficult. So, but as soon as we got there, of course, they were still, having a good time. But the woman came out. She was waiting for us, and I thought, God. So she says, we'll come with the kids in the front, and they'll continue over there. So I said, okay, we have a little place to play. Well, it worked out okay. There were kids all over the place, and it worked out okay. But the point is that she gave us a little plant, and I felt that I earned the plant, to be honest with you. So Roseanne's plant died. I brought mine home, and I lived with my friend Ann, and I said, this is a plant I want to take care of. Well, 2 days it's not watered, so she watered it. Well, the story is she's taken care of it for 5 years. The plant is all over the front. I swear it is. We're giving it to everybody that wants it. But I think my story is it really took courage, I think, for all of us to take a step that we know we should take. It's the right thing to do, but it's so difficult. But my reward was looking at this little this giant plan and thinking, well, maybe our being there planted some kind of a seed. I know one of the seeds was a 13-year-old boy who, when the kids grew up playing again, we played together, and I think he learned that he could drum. And it just, for a 13-year-old boy to be playing drums with a mature woman, I always remember that. So that's my little seed story and my plant. So if anybody wants a plant, they can. So, yes.
The Service Committee started 40 years ago, and I was part of that in the very beginning.
You were.
And what they started with the seed was to help other small communities, small union churches that needed something to get started and continue to exist. So I have good memories of that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think that to have you here that started this 40 years ago, I thank you. You are elder member, and in a lot of congregations, the elders are really respected, and I think you come here all the time, and it's really just so special. We love you. So.